Hello. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and sharing. Today let's join my football channel starting today with Europeans Continental Clubs Championship UEFA Europa League, Season 2025-26 qualifying second leg, results last night. Quopian Palacero lost to FC Midtjylland 0-2 FC Midtjylland won by aggregate 6-0, Sigma Olomouc lost to Malmo FF 0-2 Malmo FF won by aggregate 4-0, Samsunspor draw with Panathinaikos 0-0 Panathinaikos won by aggregate 2-1. Ludogorets Razgrad beat Skendiga Tetovo 4-1 Ludogorets Razgrad won by aggregate 5-3. PAOK FC beat HNK Rijeka 5-0 PAOK won by aggregate 5-1. Dynamo Kiev beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 1-0 Maccabi Tel Aviv won by aggregate 3-2. KRC Genk lost to Lech Poznan 1-2 KRC Genk won by aggregate 6-3. FC Utrecht draw with HK Zrinjski Mostar 0-0 FC Utrecht won by aggregate 2-0. BSC Young Boys beat SK Slovan Bratislava 3-2 BSC Young Boys won by aggregate 4-2. FC Stoa Bucuresti beat Aberdeen 3-0 FC Stoa Bucuresti won by aggregate 5-2. Braga beat Lincoln Red Imps 5-1 Braga won by aggregate 9-1. Europeans Continental Clubs Championship UEFA Conference League, Season 2025-26 qualifying second leg, results last night. Fredrikstad draw with Crystal Palace 0-0 Crystal Palace won by aggregate 1-0. FC Noa Yerevan beat NK Olimpija Ljubljana 3-2 FC Noa Yerevan won by aggregate 7-3. AC Omonia Nicosia beat Wolfsberger AC 1-0 AC Omonia Nicosia won by penalty 5-4. Besiktas JK lost to FC Lausanne Sport 0-1 FC Lausanne Sport won by aggregate 2-1. FKRFS draw with Hamrun Spartans 2-2 Hamrun Spartans won by aggregate 3-2. SK Rapid Vienna beat Jori Etio FC 2-0 SK Rapid Vienna won by aggregate 3-2. AZ Alkmaar beat Levski Sofia 4-1 AZ Alkmaar won by aggregate 6-1. CFR Cluj beat BK Haken Gothenburg 1-0 BK Haken Gothenburg won by aggregate 7-3. CS Universitatea Craiova beat Istanbul Basaksehir 3-1 CS Universitatea Craiova won by aggregate 5-2. AEK Athens beat Anderlecht 2-0 AEK Athens won by aggregate 3-1. FC Artakard Zali lost to Rakow Chenstokova 1-2 Rakow Chenstokova won by aggregate 3-1. Brondby lost to Strasbourg 2-3 Strasbourg won by aggregate 3-2. FC Differdange lost to FC Drida 0-1 FC Drida won by aggregate 3-1. Fiorentina beat Policia Zajdomir 3-2 Fiorentina won by aggregate 6-2. FC Banik Ostrava lost to NK Seljo 2 NK Selj won by aggregate 0-3. Rayo Vallecano beat FC Neman Grodno 4-0 Rayo Vallecano won by aggregate 5-0. Dinamo Tirana draw with Jagiellonian Białystok 1-1 Jagiellonian Białystok won by aggregate 4-1. Linfield FC lost to Shelbourne FC 0-2 Shelbourne FC won by aggregate 5-1. Legia Warsaw draw with Hibernian 3-3 Legia Warsaw won by aggregate 5-4. Mainz beat Rosenborg 4-1 Mainz won by aggregate 5-3. Servette Geneva lost to Shakhtar Donetsk 1-2 Shakhtar Donetsk won by aggregate 3-2. Shamrock Rovers draw with Santa Clara Azores 0-0 Shamrock Rovers won by aggregate 2-1. AC Virtus lost to Breidablik Koppenboger 1-3 Breidablik Koppenboger won by aggregate 5-2. Saudi Pro League, Season 2025-26 Matchday 1, Thursday August 28th as follows. Damak FC draw with Al Hazm 1-1, Al Ahly Saudi beat Al Sukkur Niamey 1-0, Al Ittifaq FC beat Al Khalid 2-1. Saudi Pro League, Season 2025-26 Matchday 1, Friday August 29th as follows. Al Hilal SFC vs Al Riyadh SC 10:50 p.m. August 30th. Al Tawan FC vs Al Nasser SC 1 a.m. Al Shabab FC Saudi vs Al Khalij Club 1 a.m. Al Fateh SC vs Al Fayha FC 10:55 p.m. Vietnam V-League 1 Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, results last night. Công An Hanoi beat Hanoi FC 4-2. Ho Chi Minh City FC beat Hong on GLI 1-0. Vietnam V-League 1 Football, Season 2025-26 table through Matchday 3, the leader belongs to Ninh Binh FC with 9 points. The second is Công An Hanoi with 7 points. The third is Thep San Nam Dinh FC with 6 points. And fourth is Hong Linh Ha Tin FC with 6 points. Vietnam V-League 1 Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, Saturday August 30th as follows. Song Viettel FC vs Beckham X Ho Chi Minh City 7:15 p.m. September 13th. Song and TP Ho Chi Minh City vs Thep San Nam Dinh FC 7:15 p.m. Công An Hanoi vs Hai Phong FC 7:15 p.m. Malaysian Super League, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, results last night. Immigration FC lost to Johor Darul Tazim 0-3. The leader belongs to Johor Darul Tazim with 12 points. The second is Kuala Lumpur City FC with 10 points. The third is Terengganu with 7 points. And fourth is Selangor FC with 6 points. Malaysian Super League, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, Friday, August 29th as follows. Sabah FC vs Malacca FC 7:15 p.m. Indochina time, CD/UTC 7, Negeri Sembilan vs Kuching City FC 8 p.m., August 30th. Penang FA vs Kelantan The Real Warriors FC 8 p.m. English Premier League Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, Saturday, August 30th as follows. Chelsea vs Fulham 6:30 p.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, Manchester United vs Burnley 9 p.m., Sunderland vs Brentford, Wolverhampton Wanderers vs Everton, Tottenham Hotspur vs AFC Bournemouth, Leeds United vs Newcastle United 11 p.m., Sunday, August 31st as follows. Nottingham Forest vs West Ham United 8 p.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, Brighton Hove Albion vs Manchester City 8 p.m., Liverpool vs Arsenal 10:30 p.m. English EFL Cup, Season 2025-26 third round, September 18th as follows. Barnsley vs Brighton Hove Albion 1:45 a.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, Brentford vs Aston Villa, Burnley vs Cardiff, Crystal Palace vs Millwall, Fulham vs Cambridge United, Huddersfield vs Manchester City, Lincoln City vs Chelsea, Liverpool vs Southampton, Newcastle United vs Bradford City, Port Vale vs Arsenal, Sheffield Wednesday vs Grimsby Town, Swansea City vs Nottingham Forest, Tottenham Hotspur vs Doncaster Rovers FC, Wigan Athletic vs Wycombe Wanderers, Wolverhampton Wanderers vs Everton, Wrexham AFC vs Reading, English EFL Championship Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 4, Saturday, August 30th as follows. Leicester City vs Birmingham City 2 a.m., Stoke City vs West Bromwich Albion 6:30 p.m., Middlesbrough vs Sheffield United, Queen's Park Rangers vs Charlton Athletic, Bristol City vs Hull City 9 p.m., Oxford United vs Coventry City, Sheffield Wednesday vs Swansea City, Ipswich Town vs Derby County, Millwall FC vs Wrexham AFC, Blackburn Rovers vs Norwich City, Watford vs Southampton, Portsmouth vs Preston North End. Spanish La Liga Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, Saturday, August 30th as follows. Elche vs Levante 12:30 a.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, Valencia vs Getafe 2:30 a.m., Deportivo Alaves vs Atletico Madrid 10 p.m. August 31st, Real Oviedo vs Real Sociedad 12 a.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, Girona FC vs Sevilla FC 12:30 a.m., Real Madrid vs Mallorca 2:30 a.m., Celta de Vigo vs Villarreal CF 10 p.m. French Ligue 1 Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 3, Saturday, August 30th as follows. RC Lens vs Stade Brest 1:45 a.m. Indochina time, FC Lorient vs Lille OSC 10 p.m., August 31st, Nantes vs Auxerre 12 a.m., Toulouse vs Paris Saint-Germain 2:05 a.m., Angers vs Stade Rennes 8 p.m., Paris FC vs Metz 10 p.m., Le Havre vs Nice 10:50 p.m., Monaco vs Strasbourg 10:50 p.m., German Bundesliga Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 2, Saturday, August 30th as follows. Hamburg SV vs FC St. Pauli 1:30 a.m. Indochina time, TSG Hoffenheim vs Eintracht Frankfurt 8:30 p.m., RB Leipzig vs FC Heidenheim 8:30 p.m., Werder Bremen vs Bayer Leverkusen 8:30 p.m., VfB Stuttgart vs Mönchengladbach 8:30 p.m., FC Augsburg vs Bayern Munich 11:30 p.m., Calcio Serie A Italy Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 2, Friday, August 29th as follows. Cremonese vs Sassuolo 11:30 p.m. Indochina time, ICT/UTC 7, August 30th, Lecce vs AC Milan 1:45 a.m., Parma vs Atalanta 11:30 p.m., Bologna vs Como 11:30 p.m., August 31st, Napoli vs Cagliari 1:45 a.m., Pisa vs Roma 1:45 a.m., Genoa vs Juventus 11:30 p.m., Torino vs Fiorentina 11:30 p.m., Belgian Jubiler Pro League Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 6, Saturday, August 30th as follows. Cercle Brugge vs St. Truidens 1:45 a.m. Indochina time, KV Mechelen vs RAL La Louvière 9 p.m., KVC Westerlo vs Royal Antwerp FC 11:15 p.m., August 31st, Royal Charleroi SC vs FCB Dender 1:45 a.m., KA Gent vs Club Brugge 6:30 p.m., Wood Heverlee Leuven vs Standard Liège 9 p.m., Union Saint-Gilloise vs Anderlecht 11:30 p.m., September 1st, KRC Genk vs SV Zulte Waregem 12:15 a.m., Dutch Eredivisie League Football, Season 2025-26 Matchday 4, Saturday, August 30th as follows. FC Groningen vs Heracles Almelo 1:30 am Indochina time, FC Volendam vs Ajax Amsterdam 9:30 p.m, SC Heerenveen vs Go Ahead Eagles 11:45 p.m, August 31st, PSV Eindhoven vs SC Telstar 1 am, Excelsior Rotterdam vs FC 20 and Skid 2 am, Fortuna Sittard vs NEC Nijmegen 5:15 p.m, PC Zwolle vs FC Utrecht 7:30 p.m, Sparta Rotterdam vs Feyenoord Rotterdam 7:30 p.m, Ineze Breda vs AZ Alkmaar 9:45 p.m.